Well, hello and welcome to the Own Your Career Step Up or Step Aside recap from this past week. Folks, I am late this week, but it is all to the good. I said that I was going to have to commit to doing this, so apologies for it. I had a long week last week. It was already interesting trying to do the Saturday event, but guess what? We did it and we had a ton of fun, and I can't wait to go through some of this with you. I'm going to go pretty quickly today because I want to make sure that you truly have a chance to look at the other videos and actually check this out. You will get access to the deck in addition to other things. And I am going to, as always, send this via Eventbrite, and also YouTube will host it. So I am so looking forward to this. This is called Step Up or Step Aside. Growth isn't optional. If you're not stepping up, someone else will. Let's get after it. So moving on, let's see if this thing actually do it. I always go over an agenda. You see the no excuses, you see the time clock. Yes, there are times where we have those things. And so I wanted you to know, when it comes to really stepping up and growth not being optional, we do have to consider those things. We do have to consider like what our moves look like. And then there are times where we truly have to step up and step aside. And what that means is either you're going to do what you need to go where you need to go, or you're going to step aside and let somebody else do it, because it's okay you want to take a break. It's okay you don't want to do those things, but you can't get mad at those who are ready. So let's go through the agenda. Always make sure that I do. Introduction, just kind of went through it, but I'll go through it a little bit more shortly. Why standing still in your career is falling behind, ways to demonstrate your value and build influence, and how to keep growing. We'll go into the conclusion, and of course there is no Q&A or virtual networking because it's just you and me and a camera right now. So there's nobody else on here but me. But if you do come, we have one more left. You can actually get that type of environment where you can network and get to know people and all that good stuff. So moving on. My name is Kay Allen Brownlee. I am the founder of Career Snobs. We are pretty much a company that focuses on, I call it my mantra of you owning your career, you making it yours. And I truly want to make sure that career training is accessible and affordable for all. Hence the reason I have these free trainings. Hence the reason I have a $99 career course that should have been considered $1,000, and I did. But I figured, people can really access that, and so that's why I've made a lot of changes to my model. I still coach, I still work with companies on the side, but this is my way of giving back and serving to those who are really trying to figure things out and may not have the bank account to do it right now. So that's what this is for. I have been in the industry for well over 15 years. I think maybe I'm about to go up shortly. And honestly, I love everything about recruiting. I love everything about talent acquisition. I love everything about people coming into the organization, me being a part of that ambassador team to welcome you in. Talent has been everything. I've hired over 20,000 folks or more, and I love it. And so that's why I do this, because there are just some things, some myths that I need to dispel, some things that I need to really tell folks when it comes to this world that makes so much more sense. Okay, so no fluff, no gatekeeping. That's what I'm about. Just real career training that gets results. Let's move on. I always start off with a quote. Growth isn't a choice, it's the price of staying in the game. Sometimes people think that, you have to pay to stay in the game. No, growth is the main factor. Growth is the main piece. I tell folks I'm always growing. Rather, I have my own coaches. I've had my own business coach, my own, personal coach. I've had counselors. I've had literally about to take a SHRM SCP test. Like, I am always upping the ante when it comes to me, because I never want to give people an excuse not to pick me. And of course I won't get picked all the time. But one thing I know for sure, if I'm not growing, probably not going. That's one of my rhymes of the day. Anybody who's been watching these, this is what I do. So yeah, just make sure it's not necessarily a choice. It is literally a barrier of entry to get into this game and to stay in it. All right, so introduction. Step up, step aside. So if you're not growing, you're falling behind. And I talk about like it being simple and all that. I'm not going to read all the way through this. But one thing I want people to understand is those who are willing to step up will always move ahead. It may not be in the speed or the timing that you think you should have, but you will always be making incremental steps to grow. And just knowing that when you do think about waiting things to happen, instead of you making it happen, somebody else is there waiting patiently for you to deny yourself what you deserve and to jump into your space. And so just keep that in mind and know that in this session, we're truly going through the hard truths of career growth, really getting in your head as far as the things you may not hear all the time and what it really takes to stay ahead of the curve and position yourself for a more successful future. Okay? First point, why standing still in your career is falling behind. It's very interesting that we would talk about standing and falling, but that's what it is. 3 points. The world keeps moving even if you don't. Right. Mind blown, like, no, it should not be. If you stop, if you stunt your growth, if you decide not to do something, trust and believe other people are still moving. Other people are still moving. I always say, people are like, well, there has to be a top of something, like somebody is the top. No, because people are constantly evolving, constantly getting to know more things. We are all individually brilliant, have potential, can do things. But if you are not learning and adapting, you are and will be left behind. Comfort zones kill careers. I love this phrase. People hate it sometimes, but honestly, it's the truth. Sometimes we get so comfortable that it becomes hard to grow out of where we're in. Like we get used to this work from home schedule, or we get used to, to this job that we have because it's easy. And what happens is when we're ready for growth, that's when it's hard, because it's hard for us to get out of that routine, to get out of what was easy, that we made easy, because it wasn't always easy. And it was hard for us to grow into something. It becomes hard for us to grow into something else. So just know it's nothing wrong with being comfortable every now and then, but always you be the one to poke you. You be the one to push you, because if it's other people, when you get caught off guard, it's going to hurt. It's going to make you feel a certain type of way, and more than likely you will not be prepared. And third, opportunities don't wait. They do not. Opportunities do not wait. They will pass you by just as much as you can get them. So just keep in mind that you need to be actively seeking growth, or someone else will step up and take the lead. And that it's just as simple as that. Start not only waiting for opportunities to come, but become an agent of change and create your own opportunity. That's when things start to really click. All right. Second, tactical ways to demonstrate your value and build influence. 3 points. Visibility creates opportunities. Don't just do the work, own your impact, and your network is your power. I talk about networks all the time on purpose. I want to drill that in your head, because if you don't have a network, you are really stunting your growth, stunting your possibility. You you have to have a tribe. You have to have a network to help you with that. But going into visibility creates opportunities. If you're not speaking up, if you're not taking initiative, if you're not letting people see what you bring to the table, as I always say, if you're not writing the narrative for yourself, someone else will write the script, and I guarantee you they will get it wrong. Point blank, period. So just understand that the visibility creates opportunities, and you're the one that has to create that visibility. Don't just do the work, own the impact. Don't just do what people are telling you to do. Become a solution bearer. Become the person who's not only bringing the issues that come along, or just putting your head down and do work, but bring solutions. And no, they may not always be used, but people will start to understand how your mind works, that it's different, that it's unique, and that you have a different way of looking at the world, at the workplace. And that typically does get you noticed. So just know that leaders don't just complete tasks, they solve problems, they drive results. Even in cases when their ideas aren't used, they're still respected for being bold enough to raise their hand and to say that something was off, and to propose a solution to maybe get it back on track. That's key. Your network is your power. Talked about it. Build relationships with decision makers, mentors, peers who can amplify your value, who can speak when you're not in the room, who can talk and refer you when there's something that comes up, who you will pop inside their head when something that relates to you. Like, you need that network. And we're building a great community when it comes to this. So just keep that in mind. Even in this network of folks who really want to become career snobs, focus on them. We're building a community. So make sure that you're connecting with folks that attended this. When you come on, make sure you're in the midst, because if not, sometimes you get left out. All right. And how to keep growing no matter where you are now. 1, adopt a growth mindset. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn. Lean into discomfort. Lean into it. Embrace it. They always say, fail forward, right? It's okay to fail as long as you're failing forward and getting back up and learning from what you failed at and tweaking it and making it better. So just keep that in mind. Every challenge is an opportunity to learn. So just even if you are getting some hiccups and things, get the learning view, get the learning point. Take that, twist it, put it on his head, and then move forward. Okay? Feedback is fuel. Not a way of, it's not flattening your tires. It's not putting sugar in your gas tank. Don't do that. It is basically fueling. It's like, you're not meant to be perfect. We're not meant to, it's about improving, staying ahead, being ahead of your game. Feedback are your spots that you can't see, or they would say your blind spots. They are those areas where you can't see. It's like being in a car. And when you look left and right, you think you see, but then there's something right there on the side of you. Feedback are those. And for those who are willing to give you feedback, give them respect. Respect that, because at least they cared enough to tell you that you needed some feedback. Because we don't always get that either. And then bet on yourself. I mean, you're amazing, right? You have potential. You are miraculous. Like, you were wonderfully made. You already hit the lotto. Like, I heard somebody, she always says it on LinkedIn. You already hit the lotto. Sarah, the one who made Spanx, she talks about it all the time. You already hit the lotto. Out of millions upon millions, you're here and you made it. So why not bet on yourself? Invest in your skills, take risks, and put yourself in positions to grow. Yes, free is cool, but eventually invest in yourself. If you could buy a purse, if you could buy some shoes, if you could buy all that stuff, surely you can buy a course. Surely you can buy coaching. Surely you can buy a book that helps you grow and improve. All right, y'all. I told y'all this is going to be quick. And then third, conclusions. Okay. If you're not growing, you're falling behind. Growth isn't optional. It's necessary. Growth is part of the world. Like, our nails grow, our hair grows, some of us, right? Our skin sheds, our organs. Like, there are so many things where we're growing constantly. Why wouldn't we do that on the outside as well? Why wouldn't we do that with our brain as well? So just make sure you know that if you're not doing that, you're falling behind, whether you can see it or not. And it's not to say you have to keep up with the world. It's just keep up with yourself, right? Point two, your value is how you show up. It's not about being like other people. Stand up, stand out, speak up, all those good things. Take charge of your career. This is yours. We don't know what life looks like after life. So rock it, knock it out the box. Have a good time, be joyful. Like, I'm doing this, like, I don't have to do this, but I love doing this. And I want to help people. And that's how my course is. I like to just get in your head and help you in areas that none of us were taught. To be real, none of us. And then you control your trajectory. You do. No matter where you are today, you have the power to level up. Nobody can tell you what your tomorrow is going to look like. You are the one that can truly dictate that. Of course, things happen in life, but overall, it's truly up to you on how far you can go, how wide, how things you can touch. It's totally up to you. So just know that you control your trajectory and you are driving. You are the driver. So drive yourself into something that you respect, that you love, and that you've worked hard for. All right. So with that being said, we're done with that today. Very quick. I'm impressed. 13 minutes. If you're not looking, I am, right? Future events. We only have 2 more left. One is the Fix You Need. It's February the 8th. It's the true last Saturday. I'm going to go through another form of this. And the following Saturday will be Unfiltered and On Point Q&A. I'm answering all questions, laying it, whatever you want to hear, whatever you want to know, show your resume. I don't care. And I'm going to tell you the truth. And then after that, I'm going to take a couple of weeks off. I have a birthday coming up. I have an anniversary coming up. And then after that, I am going to come back and probably do like an Own Your Career series that kind of mirrors the course or something like that. So with that being said, it's been wonderful. Please make sure you visit my website, my Stan store. As you see, I have more free resources than I do products and services. Probably not a smart idea, but you can get through your free career map. I'll always mention that. It just gives you a lay of the land. You get the YouTube channel. All these videos are on there, power moves, and in any career stops events that I have is truly through Eventbrite. So just keep that in mind. I will never push you all over the place. I like Eventbrite. It's established, it's protected, it's security wise. And so I'm keeping my events on Eventbrite moving forward. So with that being said, I also have a $99 career course. It is awesome. I'm not saying, like, you literally get a disc assessment, you get results, like a 30-page results, but in addition, you will know by the time you're done what you could do in your career to be more successful and how to truly manage it better. And then of course I do coaching. So if all else you're like, no, I really need to talk to you, just schedule a call. We can have a career power hour and we'll see if our worlds really match each other and if we should work together. So that's it. We are done. No Q&A, no virtual networking, but thank you. Thank you so much for trusting me with a piece of your career. I wish you nothing but success in everything that you do. It is my sincere position to make sure that everybody can own their career and make it yours. My name is Kay Allen Brownlee. This was Step Up or Step Aside. I hope you have a magical week and I will see you in a couple of days. Take care. Bye.